So thank you everyone for joining us today at our Northeast Hazel Avenue Sidewalk Improvement Open House. So before we do get started, I do just want to let you know, go over some key items. This is a recorded meeting. We will not be recording any cameras or chats, but the presentation and the audio will be recorded. We'll post the presentation here in the next couple of days on the Hazel Avenue website. We do have with us our project manager, Scott Fauckler, who will be presenting for us today, and a couple of other of our public works employees who will assist in answering any questions. With that said, we do also will have a question and answer session at the end of our presentation. So as you can tell, or you can notice that everyone is muted, and everyone will be muted during the entire presentation. During the question and answer session, you will be able to raise your virtual hand, and then a host will unmute you in order to ask audible questions. To use the raise hand option, you must go to the raise hand icon, and then that will indicate that you want to speak. You'll find that in the reaction button located at the lower right-hand corner of your screen. And after you click that button, you'll find the raised hand option, or you'll also be able to find it under the reaction button. But make sure that you are raising your virtual hand. We'll only call on those who have their hand raised. When you are called on, then we'll request that you be unmuted, and then you'll be able to ask a question to our team. If you do have a question that you think of during the presentation, you can go ahead and type that up in the chat format, and then one of our employees can answer that for you. Or if it doesn't get answered, then we'll answer it. We'll read it out loud. And then again, in order to be considerate of everyone's time, we will end the meeting by 6:30. If there's not a lot of participation, questions, or comments, then we can go ahead and end the meeting early. And then at the end of the presentation, we'll also go ahead and provide email addresses and the website. So if you have any further questions, you can go ahead and ask our project team directly. We'll go ahead and email a Title VI and a comment form to everyone who's joined us today. Those forms are voluntary, but if you would like to fill those out and return those to us, that would be very helpful. And we'll go ahead and get started. I'll let Scott.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Scott Fauckler. I'm the project manager for the Northeast Hazel Avenue Sidewalk Improvement Project, which runs from Northeast 99th Street north to Northeast 117th Street. I'll start out with, we'll do introductions for each team member and what their role is with the project. Brian Apple, do you want to go?
Sure. Hi, my name is Brian Apple, and I'm the design engineer for this project.
Jody?
Hi, I'm Jody Carrier. I work in the traffic signal and ITS section, and I worked on the lighting design and design for the rapid rectangular flashing beacons on this project.
Chris?
Good evening, Chris Carl on the grant side of grant compliance and getting some grant funding for this project.
Jennifer?
Hi, I'm Jennifer Daniel. I'm the real property agent for Clark County Public Works, and I acquired the property rights needed for the project.
And Kaylee?
I'm Kaylee McLaughlin-Burton, and I'm the communications manager at Clark County Public Works.
Is there anyone else from the county that I did not call on? Just going by who I see on the screen. I think we got everyone. Once again, this meeting's for the Northeast Hazel Avenue sidewalk improvements, which goes from 99th Street north to 117th Street. We have a vicinity map to show you. It's the bold line there on the center left-hand side of the sheet there. Next screen, please.
Oh no.
You got it. There you go. A little background on this project. So as many of you know, the existing roadway out there, it's challenging for pedestrians in locations where sidewalks are missing. Pedestrians are forced to walk on the narrow roadway shoulder and or navigate on uneven terrain, something the county recognized, and Chris was able to go out and get us some grant money to address these concerns. This project will create continuous sidewalk from Northeast 99th Street to Northeast 117th Street. In addition, it's going to provide designated bike lanes on both sides of Hazel Avenue from 99th Street north to Northeast 117th Street. And finally, we're going to move the existing mid-block crossing for Sacagawea Elementary School. It will be moved south to the intersection of Northeast Hazel Avenue with Northeast 112th Street. Our funding for this project, Chris was able to secure federal grants. It was the Transportation Alternative Program, an urban large federal grant. And I believe that was close to $700,000 that he could secure for this project. We have a state grant on the project. It came from Transportation Improvement Board Sidewalk Program. That was about $300,000. We're going to be using county traffic impact fees and then the county road fund in the amount of $700,000, I believe. The total project is, and when I say total project, that's the design, the securing the property, and then the construction phase is $1.7 million. Next screen, please. Up one. There you go. So the blue hatching, that is the new sidewalks. The orange that you see, that will be new driveway. I don't see, is there, yeah, there's some red on here. That's proposed wall locations. And then the gray that are around the side streets, that's where new pavement will be installed. We're going to be upgrading some curb returns, is what we call them, to meet ADA standards. So as you can see here on the left-hand side of the screen, about at the parking lot of the shopping center there, that's where our first new set of sidewalk will begin. We'll be on the east side of the roadway, heading north. You can go to the next screen. And then once we get to the, I'm sorry, on this screen that I'm looking at, the text is small on that side street. It looks like, and Brian, you can jump in. Is that 100th Street, that first intersection?
105th.
105th?
Yeah, and then there you go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So we back over to the left, Cindy. So we'll be upgrading that ADA ramp there, and then across the street, if you need to cross the street there in a wheelchair, there will be a ramp on the west side of the road. All the returns, as you can see there, if they don't meet ADA standards, we will be upgrading the ramps. And as we continue north, the sidewalk is still on the east side of the road. Next screen, please.
Give me just a sec.
Yep. And I liked how you zoomed in there. That and
Okay.
and then once again, so the blue shading, that is the new sidewalk. So it continues on the east side of the road up to 110th. And then we have an island in the middle of Hazel Avenue. Brian, do you want to talk about that at all? What the purpose of that is?
Sure. And the purpose of the island is to create a safer pedestrian access, obviously across Hazeldale Avenue. At this point, this will be actually the official crossing for the continuous network. So this is the point in the project where the sidewalk will switch from the east side of the roadway over to the west side. The reason for doing that was actually due to existing sidewalk already on the west side, as well as a lot less space to work with on the east side of the roadway in this section of the project.
Thank you. Next screen, please. And then once we get down to Northeast 112th Street, there'll be sidewalk on both sides of the roadway. On the west side, for the most part, it's existing. On the east side, we'll have a new sidewalk segment through there.
I just add that the crosswalk will be moved to the intersection at 112th, and we'll have a rapid rectangular flashing beacon at that intersection, that crosswalk.
Yeah, we'll be moving that mid block crossing that the kids now use for going to school. We'll be moving that to that intersection of 112th Street and Hazel Avenue. Here's the construction schedule. We plan on being out on ad May 11th, 2022, and the bids will be opened on May 31st, 2022. Then we'll award the contract mid-June 2022. And then once the contract is executed, all parties signed, be right around July 5th, 2022. And then construction will start shortly thereafter in July of 2022, this summer. Substantial completion of the project will be in October of 2022, and then physically complete by December 2022. One common question that we get is the hours of operation that the contractor will be out there working. And our specifications for this project state that the contractor can be out there Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. However, depending on the situation, work may start a little earlier or it could run a little late, but that would be on isolated conditions. For the most part, it will be on Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Here's some contact information if you have questions during construction or after this meeting. Our construction manager, who was unable to join us tonight, his name is Bart Arthur. Phone number is there and his email address. This will be back up on the screen as we do our questions and answer session. So if you don't get it wrote down now, you can. It will be back up here in a little bit. Once again, I'm the project manager. My name's Scott Fauckler. My number is listed there with my email address. During construction, if you're unable to reach Bart or myself, we have a Public Works customer service email address that you can email, and the email address is listed there. A lot of times people have questions. Well, there's cars speeding through on Hazel Avenue or in the neighborhoods. I've listed the contact number for the Clark County Sheriff's Office. It's the speeder hotline. You can give the Sheriff's Office a call with any complaints about speeding vehicles through the neighborhoods or on Hazel Avenue. And then, as Cindy stated, this presentation, along with plans, it will be posted on the county website, which is down there at the bottom. And once again, we'll have this slide back up so you can write it down if you don't get it now. And that's the information that we have at this time. This is, once again, how you raise your hand and ask the questions. I think we might have lost the presentation. I'm sorry.
Thank you so much, Scott. Sorry about that. I was transferring roles real quick. Kaylee's gonna share the screen for us, but thank you so much for that presentation. So we will now be able to take any questions you might have. You can raise a virtual hand, and then we'll call on you and you can ask. Here are our panel of employees. I thought I saw a hand and then I was lowered. Oh, there's a Dell top, no name, but go ahead. There's,
I think their mute might be locked.
yeah. I need to unmute them. Oh, there you go.
You mentioned that that there will be a new wall. What does that mean? That you're putting up somewhere?
Yeah, so the new walls are in reference to retaining walls that are going on the backside of the sidewalks where there are essentially fill walls. So because there's a couple areas where from the edge of pavement, there's quite a bit of a downslope to where it levels out. And so in those areas, we're going to need to have a retaining wall so that the sidewalk is at the same grade as the edge of pavement, the existing roadway.
Okay, and do you know where they are? Where you're putting those?
Yes, they are. So there will be 4 of them. 2 are kind of at the beginning of the project, south of 102nd Street.
Mhm.
1 is between 102nd and 103rd, and 1 is between 103rd and 105th on kind of the north side of that. On the maps that are presented or were presented, they're outlined in red. And I know that they were kind of hard to see, but
Kaylee, can you scroll up a couple pages?
And how tall are those walls? Okay, it doesn't show that it's all blue that I can see. Okay, I see the red. So
yeah.
Is that 102nd, 103rd that I'm?
Yep. That's
Okay.
102nd. And so there's the 2, one on either side of the driveway to the south of 102nd.
Mhm.
And those are each about, well, all the walls are, I would say, in between 2.5 to 4 feet tall.
Okay.
So they're small. They're the smaller retaining walls.
Okay, so they go in front of
No.
your fence at your house, right? They'll be in front of your fence? Cause see, I
No,
live
so-
I live 103rd, so,
Mhm.
and I go halfway back to 102nd. So I'm just thinking you're having a retaining wall right there.
Yes.
So it will be in front of your fence, right?
In front of, you mean of your fence?
Right.
I'm getting confused. Yeah, it'll be in front of the property owners. It won't be taking out your fence, unless, you know, if there is anything that needed to be taken out, you would have already been notified.
Yes, I have it. Okay.
All,
Okay.
all walls, all improvements will be within county right away.
Yeah.
And
I
so
see.
that was Jennifer's task. Early on, we identified any properties that we needed property from, and Jennifer has reached out to those property owners.
Yes.
So like Brian said, if you haven't been contacted at this point, it will not be impacting your property.
No, I have been. So that's right. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. And we'll go ahead and call on John.
Hi, I've got two questions. Question about the island on 110th Street. Is there going to be a signal of any kind, or is it just a concrete island in the middle of the road? And then the second question is, can you talk a little bit about traffic control during construction? Are there going to be road closures? Is there going to be just one lane of traffic with flaggers during construction?
I'll take the last question. So there will be no full road closures as part of this project. There could be isolated lane closures that will be controlled by flaggers, but nothing that's going to last, you know, a permanent closure for an extended amount of time. It would strictly be a case by case basis and short durations.
And oh, go ahead.
Yeah, for the first question, there is no signal at the island.
Yeah, no, there is just planning to be the warning marking paint on either end, as well as the candle. I always call them the candlestick markers on the end, going around the ends to serve as, I guess, markers that the island is there. But no, there is no actual flashing light for the island itself.
Alrighty,
Is that? Yeah.
I believe
John, did
so.
that answer your question?
Yes, it did. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I see that there's no name, but it says Dell laptop has a hand raised.
Cindy, it looks like her microphone is locked. Do you unlock that?
Yeah, but it didn't. They need to unmute on their end if they still want to ask a question.
You need me to unmute?
Yeah. What did you have another question?
No, I lowered
Oh,
my hand. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm
No,
sorry.
no worries. All right. I don't see any other questions. Like I mentioned previously, if you go to your name and there'll be an option to raise hand if you right next to your name, or at the bottom of your screen, there's also a near the reaction button. There's a little raise hand option, and then if you are on the phone, usually it's *3. So if anyone has any other questions, now is the time. Oh, I have one question here. So caller. There you go. Go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, my name's Cordell Beth. And my question was, will there be pedestrian access through that section when the school year starts?
Yeah, so our goal is to start work as soon as Well, in July, as early as possible in July, and obviously when the kids are out, we are trying to get permission right now to order some of the um, flashing beacon equipment early, so that our contractor will not have to wait for that. And then with that in mind, have the crossing open prior to school starting. So that's our goal at this time. Um, keeping the
Awesome. Thank you
kids
very much.
and keeping the kids and school opening in mind.
Thank you.
Thank you. And like I mentioned previously, if you're on the phone, you can do *3 to raise your hand. We'll request that you unmute yourself. We do have to submit the requests through our end first. Otherwise, if you have a virtual hand, add hand up.
Thank you.
Oh, go ahead.
I just have just a little comment. I'm actually president of West Hazeldale Neighborhood Association, and we butt up into Hazeldale Avenue. So I really do appreciate having access to this so that the neighbors can be told about it well early and often. That avoids a lot of questions on my email and my telephone. And I think everybody will be a lot happier. Thank you very much for providing this to us.
You're welcome. And if we could go up one slide, once again, write down that that link to our project website. And
got it all. I'm all over this stuff.
You're good.
All right, thank you. I'm gonna give it a few more minutes for more questions, but this is everyone's opportunity to ask our project team any further questions. Again, like I mentioned previously, this is a recorded meeting, so if you do want to go back through the recording, it will be posted here by the end of the week. And you can go through the presentation during the, see the recorded presentation, and then I'll also be posting the presentation, just the PowerPoint presentation itself, on the project website. So you'll be able to review the PowerPoint as well. I know it's a little hard to view on screen or a shared screen.
And I'll add to that, ultimately, the final plans will be on the project website as well. So if anyone wants to get in there and look at the plans, ultimately they'll be there. And correct me if I'm wrong, there might already be 90% plan set on there, or even the 99%. But if not, the final plans will be located on that website once completed.
They're not on there yet, but I can definitely get those added on there.
It's going to be a great project. Having some safe routes for people to walk is important to the county, and it's a great project.
All right. So I will go ahead and give it just one more minute. Last minute questions for anyone. We don't want to necessarily end the presentation early, but if there are no other questions, then we can go ahead and wrap this up. Again, *3 if you're on the phone, or just use your virtual hand. We'll call on you and request that you unmute. All right. Well then, I will go ahead and we can go ahead and end the meeting. thank you all so much for joining us today. We will go ahead and get this posted here by the end of the week. Thank you for joining us today, and also thank you, Scott, and our project team. If you do have any questions, Scott's information and Bart's information will be on the project website. We'll also go ahead and include the rest of the team members that were on in the meeting today. So if you would like to reach out to them directly, you are more than welcome to do so. And thank you.